our first guest of the evening, and that is going to be Julie Spina of the Rogue Ensemble Theatre Company to join us. I'll pull up her information, and let's see if I can do it this way. Okay, so we'll ask Julie to join us. And while we're doing that, I will take a moment to say hello to all the people that are joining us here in the live chat. Julie.
Hi, Rodney. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us tonight. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So let me take a moment while we're getting started to put up the image of Julie and her company. Okay, so this is Julie and the Rogue Ensemble Theatre Company. So Julie, you guys, as far as I understand, yours is a relatively new company. Tell us about the formation of the Rogue Ensemble Theatre Company and when you guys started, what made you start of all times in the coronavirus era, and how it all came to be.
Well, yes, we are a brand new company, and it's really because of quarantine life and the pandemic era that we formed it all. It was a former colleague of mine came up to me one day and was like, "Julie, do you want to direct as you like it?" Because, there's nothing else to do in the
Nothing
world.
else to
I
do.
figured,
Right.
why not?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we really didn't anticipate it to grow into the monolith that it really became. I mean, we're still a small potatoes, early budding theater company.
Mm-hmm.
But I started directing as you like it. We figured, okay, how can we be as compliant as possible within these very strict strictures? And initially, it started as an inspiration based off of not only Joe Papp in the Public Theater, but also just looking at what Shakespeare did during his time. He was writing and performing during the plague, so why can't we?
Right.
So we also
when is this? This is in April, May. When are we talking about?
Oh gosh, this was back in June, I want to say.
June. Okay.
Yeah, so this was back in June that my colleague had come to me with this idea. And we held auditions. We kept it very kosher and socially distanced. Everybody's in masks. And we let them know, this is our idea. We're not crazy, right? And we just got the most amazing group of people with us for that first production. And initially the plan was to get us into private residences, performing in these courtyard kind of spaces, having the audience members be the residents in the apartments looking down at the court. But then insurance became an issue. So we was like, okay, well, let's just move on to the parks then.
Okay.
There's people in the parks.
Sure. Some. There's people, there's squirrels, there's all kind of living things out there.
You wouldn't believe how many weddings we had to contend with.
Really?
Oh, God. Pretty much every single performance of As You Like It was interfering with at least one wedding.
Okay. So where was this all happening? Was this in Central Park? Whereabouts in town is this happening?
We were mostly in Central Park at the time, but we were also bouncing around to other theaters. So we performed up in my neighborhood, up in Fort Tryon Park. We were at Riverside. But really it was just kind of, we would announce where we were going to be a few days before and then show up. So it was really exciting to perform in that sort of way because it affected the performance in a really astounding and kind of beautiful way. No two performances are alike anyways, even if you are in the same space. This was all right, new venue, sort of new blocking. Oh, we've been interrupted by Leo's 1-year-old birthday party, so we can't perform here in this space. We're now going to move over to between these two trees to perform. So it was just very exciting.
Okay, so as someone who's been there and has experienced some of the joys and some of the hardships of what you're talking about, when you are a new group and you're just getting started and you have all the right intentions and you have a great cast and you have a great play, how do you get that audience to come and join you for that first endeavor?
Building a pretty strong social media following helped, at least in the beginning. But because we chose places strategically based off of how populated they were, the audience kind of came to us. It was really quite miraculous. And we had even one of our cast members before each show go around with one of the instruments and kind of rally the troops like the Pied Piper. And it was amazing how many people would follow him.
That's
So,
amazing. And
yeah.
and do you have much of a background with Shakespeare yourself before you did this?
I mean, I've been in a handful of Shakespeare plays. I have a passion for Shakespeare. I wouldn't, by any extenuation of the imagination, call myself a Shakespearean scholar. I leave that
Hmm.
to our artistic director, Miss Christine Reisig,
Hmm.
who's a pro. But
Hmm. Okay, so you started in June and you had a production of As You Like It, and it was a surprisingly big success, which is
mhm.
fantastic. That's a great way to get the ball rolling. And then after that, at what point do you decide to take on Titus Andronicus? Which, I mean, As You Like It, it's a wonderful play. It's a light comedy. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. How do you jump from there into the the outrageous Titus Andronicus?
Well, Rodney, we're a theater of the now. We change with the season. So we had the light and summer as you like it, and then you're like,
Right.
okay, Halloween's around the corner. What's the most gruesome thing that we can possibly do? Um, so fairly early on into the as you like it process, I'd say maybe by July,
Hmm.
um, we knew, okay, we've got something special on our hands.
Hmm.
Let's see where it takes us and maybe start culminating some plans. So, and as this also had to do with the fact that we were just getting so many great people into our group. Um, so we knew that we can't squander this opportunity. So we chose Titus for the fall. We figured with the election around the corner, we are not making a political statement at all with this
Hmm.
piece of Rome and, corruption and revenge and things.
No,
No.
nothing at all related to the political situation. Nothing. Okay, so I have to say, just the fact that I'm looking at the dates that you had your production, and it was late October until the beginning of November, and that in and of itself is a very bold thing to choose to do because traditionally in the New York Shakespeare scene, all the outdoor troops, just because of the way the weather is here in New York. My wife describes the weather in New York as being two seasons with 3 days of summer in between, or 3 days of spring in between. So you have summer, and then as soon as that's over, you go woof right into the winter season, and that usually happens in New York. As soon as Labor Day hits, maybe you have a couple of more weeks of September, and then pretty much people are rained out or iced out. So it was very brave of you guys to go into that. How was the experience of doing that at that time of the year?
Oh, it was great. We just had to cancel like half of the performances.
uh,
Like I
you
said,
know,
we roll with the punches.
it's
Um,
it's a difficult thing, but it's just unfortunately the reality of the weather situation here.
it is. Well, I mean, we knew that weather was going to be an issue. Weather was an issue when we were doing As You Like It as well,
Hmm.
because I mean, it's New York, it's Mercurial Manhattan. I'm sure you've seen that meme where it shows every single day of the week, and every single day of the week it's either hot summer in the city or versus tsunami.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
so, um, I mean, but that's kind of the vibe that this company started with. It's obstacles are going to come our way, no matter
Hmm.
what. And we have a tradition of doing things in the theater world a particular way.
Hmm.
I don't know if those particular ways stand so much anymore. It's a different world that we're living in, and we're looking to be scrappy and, innovative. And okay, yes, we might be working on a day where it's literally 39 degrees outside
Right.
and we're dripping fake blood down our faces. Are our actors happy? Not really, but we're still going to do it because the audiences love it.
Well, there you go. That's really what it's all about. You've developed the audience over the previous show, and you continue to snowball and grow that audience, and then you bring them in. And as we spoke up with some of the previous companies in some of the other episodes, that right now, as much as there's some segment of the audience that is trepidatious and doesn't want to come out, no matter how many social distancing protocols you employ, there are others who are just so pent up and waiting for any kind of theatrical presentation, any kind of live theater, that they'll no matter if it's snow or hail or whatever the case may be, they'll come out and they'll see that show. So I'm sure the days that you were able to perform, you had a good strong audience out there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, With Titus, we had a bit of an issue from the administration end of things where we had to rebrand ourselves after As You Like It.
Okay.
So we had lost a bit of that following
Hmm.
when we were under the guise of Idle Playthings Theatre Company.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's you guys. That's
That's us.
oh, okay. I know that Idle Playthings had done something, and I never quite had a chance to speak to them. So that's you guys, but you're now the Rogue Ensemble.
You found us.
Ah, fantastic, fantastic. Okay,
Indeed.
okay. So
So
now before we move on to something else, Titus is a very gory play, and there's a lot of stage blood. There's a lot of severed body parts. How does one do that in the outdoors, in the park, in any kind of convincing way, in a socially distanced situation? How'd you guys make that stage magic happen?
Home Depot, plastic tarps. Well, because we
Okay.
performed in front of Grant's tomb, so we knew we couldn't get anything on the stone because that's a federal crime.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, we used stage blood. We were very careful. Clean. We had amazing volunteers. Again, the reason this company has been successful is because of the amazing people who have joined our forces to work with us. Just like these audiences who are hungry to see theater,
Hmm.
come rain, come snow, come sleet. We have actors and people who want to join us who have that same mentality because it is about the work.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's you can find As You Like It. You can find Midsummer Night's Dream and some of those lighter comedies regularly around New York, but you don't always find some of the heavier shows or some of the histories or some of those kind of things. So it's very I'm very happy that a young troupe like yours is pushing the boundaries and doing something like Titus, and that you're getting the audience for it. It's really great. What do you have coming up next, Julie?
Well, we're going to be taking a little break from Shakespeare
Hmm.
and also from outdoor theater simply because, as scrappy as we are, we're not that scrappy.
Right.
Uh, so I was actually just talking to my fellow inner circle members today, and
Hmm.
what we have on the docket next is we have a series of original one acts that are going to be broadcasted on Zoom and our Facebook Live. I believe starting the end of November, right around Thanksgiving,
Hmm.
through to about mid to late December. And then from there, we are talking about then branching into podcasts and radio shows.
Oh, exciting. Very exciting. All right, fantastic. All right. So, Julie, if people want to check out the Rogue Ensemble Theatre Company, what you've done thus far, and what you have coming up in the future, where can they go to check you out?
Everybody can come check us out on our website at rogueensemble.com. That is ROGUEENSEMBLE.com. Or you can come to our Instagram page where you get updates at Rogue Ensemble. That is at Rogue Ensemble. We also have a Facebook page, also Rogue Ensemble.
And I have to compliment you on your Instagram page. It's designed in a very aesthetically exciting way, where the individual boxes make a larger picture. It's very, very, very well done. All right, so
Yeah,
congratulations,
thank you.
Julie. And before I let you go, one last question for you from one of our members. Put a question in the chat section. He says, "Did you also sell pies during the show?"
Oh, sadly, no pies.
Sadly, no
We'll
pie.
remember that if we ever have a reunion show of
If you ever do
Titus.
a reprise of Titus Andronicus, maybe you'll have some meat pies, but we'll
I'll
save
make it
that.
myself.
You'll make them yourself. Okay, Julie, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Best of luck with Rogue Ensemble, and we hope to see you again in the future.
Thank you, Rodney.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Okay, so that was Julie Spina of the Rogue Ensemble Theatre Company. We are headed into our second conversation of the evening. Before we depart from the conversation with Julie altogether, I just want to throw a shout out to Victoria, Victoria Ray Sook, Food of Love Productions. She had a very delightful comment in the comments section where she is connecting Greg Hudson's request for pies in Titus Andronicus to her company with the food that they're providing as Food of Love Productions. Very clever, Victoria, very clever. Okay, so